everybody! As you can see, it was clearly too windy for skiing today in the Italian Alps. I've therefore decided to do a review of the Hero 6 for you from the point of view of a real GoPro user. This after more than 1 month of intensive use in sports. I will also tell you if it's really the best action cam you can buy in 2017, so stay tuned. I will tell you 5 things in this review which you should consider before buying the new GoPro. If you are generally interested in tips and reviews about GoPro and filming in general, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's get started. Stabilization. The stabilization is by far the biggest strength of the Hero 6, especially in comparison to the Hero 5. So I can now attach the Hero 6 to the car and there are no more micro vibrations visible. Simple pans now look cinematic and good. There is hardly any difference to the recordings with a gimbal. It is also great that the stabilization is finally available in 4K 30 and 1080-120. With 1080-120 you can now make super slow motion videos that look really amazing. However, the stabilization is not perfect. Image jumps occasionally occur and the stabilization is unfortunately not available in the new high frame rates such as 4K 60 or 2.7K 120. Image quality. GoPro now uses a new image processor, the GP1, which is why the image quality differs from the Hero 5, but it has not really improved. In some cases there is now an improved dynamic range, but this is not always the case, as I have noticed. The new image, however, doesn't look much more detailed and is now much more saturated. In some cases it looks oversaturated. The image has a strong tendency to blue tones. I also found it difficult to correct the colors in post. Frame rates. The second major innovation of the Hero 6 in addition to the image stabilization are the higher frame rates. They are now 4K 60, 2.7K 120 and 1080-240. The picture quality of the new frame rates is in my opinion very good. Also 1080-240 is really usable, which is amazing for super slow motion. Unfortunately, these recording modes are not stabilized, which is a pity especially for 4K 60. The mode becomes almost useless if you don't use a gimbal. Also don't forget that the new recording modes use the HEVC codec. To use it you need a fast computer and an up-to-date operating system. Other features and reliability. Regarding the interface and the other features, I can hardly see any difference between the Hero 6 and the Hero 5. The audio quality has been slightly improved, especially when the side door is open. The strange noise of the Hero 5 has also disappeared. But all in all, the Hero 6 doesn't really sound any better, which doesn't bother me much because I rarely use the sound for my videos. Otherwise, the Hero 6 is still quite unreliable at the moment. It often crashes and there are a number of problems. I've made a video about this topic which I recommend to you. Is the Hero 6 the best action cam you can buy in 2017? In my opinion, yes, but with some limitations. It is better than the Hero 5 because of better stabilization, which makes a big difference. The comparison to the Sony FDR X3000 is more difficult. Sony has an optical image stabilization that is still slightly better than the GoPro's new electronic stabilization. The image quality is very similar, perhaps with slight advantages for Sony. In the end, GoPro probably uses a Sony sensor, but what I like much better about GoPro is that it has an integrated touchscreen which makes it much more user-friendly. I don't like the Sony bracelet solution. The Sony also needs a waterproof case and films in 60 frames per second at 1080p only, so it has lower frame rates and no linear mode. If you're thinking about the RX0 now, you need to know that it can't shoot in 4K without an external recorder and that it's not stabilized. The RX0 is more of a professional tool than a consumer camera. If you want to save some money, you should take a look at the Yi 4K Plus. It is much cheaper and has a comparable image quality, but the Yi doesn't have such a good image stabilization. It has a poor build quality, a much weaker LCD screen, and also needs a waterproof case. In sum, I personally choose GoPro, but I hope that the existing problems will be solved. I hope this video was informative for you. Until next time.